Hello. I am just getting down off a chair after pushing play, so I will be right there. Okay. Hi. So we have this set up kind of weird because it's not really about me. It's about what we're doing, and so I just wanted to say hello. You'll be looking at my shirt down, which is weird, but the project is what I want you to focus on. So, hi, I'm Danielle with Island Girl Creative Kits, and this is going to be another video of some of the projects that I'm going to be offering. I'm going to paint as many as I can. I'm in production all the time when the laser's not broken because it breaks a lot. But it's a fabulous machine when it does work, and I'm really happy to be doing this. So I'm going to share an unboxing with you. It's not completely packaged the way it would be for you, but it is very, very close. So this is not a pizza. This is actually your craft kit. It comes just like this when it's mailed. If you get delivery by me, then it just comes wrapped in tissue paper, so I don't waste a box. So inside you'll find all the things you need to get your project completed. Uh-oh, knocked over some paint. So there's always going to be your goodie bag, which is what I call this. It has all of the pieces that need to complete the project. There's going to be a plate for mixing your paints on. And then there's going to be your actual project, which normally comes in one kit like this. So the pieces are going to be where they're supposed to be, and then you just unpackage it. So if you have any trouble, there's also an instruction sheet, which I did not print out for this particular one, but it will have all the instructions on how to get the project done. And so your job is to unwrap and try to keep all of your pieces in one place. I like to use the box that it comes in to do your work on because it keeps your table clean mostly, unless you're like me and just go all over the place. It doesn't really matter if you have a box, but I try really hard to use this box, and I've used it over and over and over, so you can see it has multiple colors for multiple projects on it. What you'll do is you'll separate your project so that you don't get paint of different colors onto different pieces. Now, you do get paint that comes with the projects. Every project is going to come with the paint that is suggested to paint the project, but you can use any colors you want. So I didn't put paints in my little kit here because I didn't want to waste one of these little containers. They're not super expensive, but you know, I don't need a container because I'm here, so I don't have to. But it comes with the glue that you need to put the whole thing together. And I always use makeup sponges because it's really easy just to dab the paint on, which is what you want to do. You don't want to use a whole lot of paint for any of these things. You want to use just a little bit so that way it's just on the top, on the surface right here, and it doesn't go over the edges or in between the cracks. So you're going to try really hard to keep it like that. A lot of the times we start with the background first because we need that to dry before we can actually move forward anyway. So you can take the background. This particular one, I have seen it in a whitewashed fence, a gray washed fence, and then the brown, which I thought was the cutest one, especially because fall is mostly brown, right? Brown, orange, yellow, reds. So I wanted the pumpkins to pop on this, and so I decided to go with brown. So I'm going to find my brown paint and just put it on here. Oh, I might have run out of brown paint. Come on out. Now, a lot of the kits come with baby wipes. You can use them to clean your hands if that's what you need. But what they're for is to actually wipe the paint onto your project. I'm going to go ahead and grab a baby wipe. Normally you only need about one. Some of the projects will come with two if they're larger projects. But you're going to dip your baby wipe into the paint, and then you're literally just going to wipe it onto your project. And that kind of gives it the look of wood or distressing too. You can also distress these by taking, well, actually I think last month's kit came with some sandpaper in it. And that also is really good for distressing, just sanding off some of that paint that you put on. Oh, so there's something different. Probably most of you have noticed, but I've switched from cutting wood, which I was using birch plywood, to this MDF stuff, which is lighter in some ways. Like, it's got less weight to it, and it cuts so much better in the machine. Like, it just cuts like butter. It just goes right through it. It doesn't have the imperfections that the birch had, and that was causing a lot of hiccups. When I started to do these projects, I did not realize that I was buying a laser that was more of a hobby laser than it was a professional laser, even though I bought, it's literally called the Pro. So I thought it was a professional style laser, especially also because I paid such a lot of money for it. So in my mind, I was like, oh yes, this is meant for business. I didn't do quite enough research. I kind of just got really excited and went for it, which is kind of how I do a lot of things in my life. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that sometimes it pays to think before you jump. But anyway, like I was saying, it's not able to keep up with the amount of production that I've been doing. And I have been doing a lot because I'm making signs, I'm doing personal things. I have some businesses that are asking me to do pieces for them so that they can use them in other things that they're doing. And it's been really interesting. But so you'll see I'll post every once in a while, oh, the laser's broken, oh, this happened, oh, that happened. Last week or the week before, one of the little, it's hard to explain, but there's like little wheels that the carriage rides on with the laser head on it, and one of the wheels broke. So it wasn't able to travel correctly, so it was messing up all of my cuts. It was burning things, which actually, this is one of the ones that it burned. So if you look, I don't know if that's going to focus, but this is severely burned. So I didn't want to send this particular kit out because of that. I saved it for myself because even though it's burned, it's still, you can still paint it. It's just, it's not as, how do you say, it's not as like a pretty product to send out. I don't want to send out super burnt things, although I have in the past sent out some burnt because sometimes you just can't help it with that birch. Being that it's wood, it's inconsistent and it burns sometimes because some of it's thicker than, or it's not just the thickness, it's how the plywood is put together in layers. There's some more glue in certain spots. Excuse my dirty, well, it's not dirt, it's paint, but my fingernails are all gross because I have been working nonstop. And also, there's a lot of, when this burns, it causes soot. So you can literally see it comes off on my fingers too. So another thing you can do is you can take a baby wipe and you can actually wipe it down a little bit and get some of that soot off. But like I was saying, this is severely burned, so it's going to be really hard to get that off. But I'm not concerned. I think it's great anyway. I'm still going to use it. All right, well, the background has been done. And oh, if you wanted to distress it some more, you can take a little bit of white paint and you can kind of put little streaks on it as well. I like it brown. Maybe I'll just do a few little streaks so you guys can see what that looks like too. But I do like the brown fence. I think it's adorable. But you can actually take some of that white and lightly rub it up and down the fence line. Just a little bit. And that gives it the illusion that it is a little bit aged. And that rustic look that we all love so much. Oops. Better if you just do it laying down in your hand. It's going to shoot right out just like it did. But I don't know, the camera, I've been trying different angles. I don't have, like, I'm doing, it's my phone, so, which I forgot to turn the ringer off, and we may get a phone call in the middle of this, but that's okay. We'll deal. But again, so I'm just kind of lightly grazing over it. And if it gets, like, if you get a white streak and you're just like, ew, that's not, no, that's not, you can just take the brown and go right back over it. Always adjust. That's what I call it. Adjust. We adjust. All right, so now the background is now officially done. So we're gonna move on to the pumpkins. So there was an orange pumpkin, and then there was a teal pumpkin. You can choose which one you want to be which. It's completely up to you. I'm gonna do big pumpkin orange. And I'm just taking a little bit of paint. I mean, it's just a little bit. If you get too much, you can knock it off onto your board, your box or a paper towel. You can do it on the plate if you want to. But we're literally just putting one really nice light coat of paint, trying to make it so it doesn't go on the edge. So when I'm pushing it, excuse me, when I paint like this, I'm pushing the paint and I'm pushing it over the edge, but not around the edge. And like I said, mine is severely burned, so you can still see some of it through that paint. But surprise, surprise, that's going to be covered up by a majority of this, so it will not matter. But also, it's a rustic look, so even if it wasn't covered, it would still be okay because it would look cute. All right, and then the other one, so you guys, this is a different color paint. I ran out of the blue that I got specifically for this. So mine is really bright, and actually, I think I'm going to tone it down a little bit. So you have white paint. You always get white paint, and usually more than you need, so that you can make a mixture of your own. You can change your colors if you need to. Also, if you have your own paints at home, you can also do that. Change the colors with your own paints to match your home decor. There we go. That's more like the color you have, that you guys got. Has a little bit of an ombre look, which is kind of cute too. All right, voila. Then we have the pumpkin tops, so that goes on the top. You can paint them either white, you can paint them black. The Hello Fall, I believe, was in black. Oh, that's what I dropped on the floor. Go. Well, my paints are getting close to the end because I've been using them so much, so I have to refill them, but I haven't yet. Now, sponging the paint onto the letters like this is nice. Doing it nice and easy is most important with these because it will go around and in between around the edges, and we don't necessarily want that to happen. So you can just take a little bit of paint and then lightly I tap and then I pull a little bit, so that way I'm always moving away from whatever I'm doing and off the edge, instead of pushing straight down like a stamp, which then this is kind of soft so it can kind of go around the sides. You're just lightly pushing that paint onto these letters. Ooh, that looks so cute. No, I don't know if I want to do these in black or white because that is stinking cute. Okay, well, it's easier to do it white and then change it to black than it is to do it black and change it to white. I do have a lot of charring though, so this might be a little bit rough. Normally with wood, you can just sand off that charring. This is MDF, which is not like a typical wood product, but it is very sturdy and it's very consistent. It hasn't given me hardly any trouble, except for that there is a lot of, it makes my machine very, very, very dirty. Oh, that's cute too. I don't know, you know, it's all cute. Come on, really. Can't get this wrong. This is fun and takes your mind off of other things and just relaxing. I get a kick out of it. I like it. And I'm glad so many of you do too. Thank you for being part of. This is the subscription kit part. So I'm going to post this video in the VIP group, but also on the regular page so that people can see what the subscription kit kind of is about. Because I have a lot of questions for that. So this will kind of show you. Every month we get a different design. And we work on, a lot of times it's going to be seasonal, so it's themed for a season. Sometimes it's just a fun project or home decor, or sometimes it is something that hangs on the wall. Sometimes it's something that goes on a stand. Sometimes it's something that stands on its own, like the houses we did. I think that was last month, right? Those were cute. I really like those with the paper because we'll mix in different things. I was going to do this macrame project with everybody, but it seemed a little bit like it just too much string and knots and tying and stuff, and it seemed a little bit too complicated for the situation. So I was like, you know, let's stick with more of a relaxed kind of feeling. So I also have this bow, which we can take and mix. Let's just make like a cream. I think a creamy bow would be cute. Like kind of taupey, little off-white maybe. You can do whatever you like. Like if you think, actually the black might have been a really nice, ooh, you know what? The black is better. We're going to do black. So I'm just going to wipe off as much as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. The color black usually covers everything, so you don't have to worry too much about not being able to cover. White is the hardest, and purple. I've always had trouble. The purple just does not have good coverage. But yeah, that little bow, ooh, that's going to be so stinking cute. Okay. So because I have so much charring, the white is having a hard time covering. But that's okay, because if you let it dry, you can just put it right back on top after it dries a little bit. And you know what wouldn't be such a bad idea is putting a second coat of paint onto my pumpkins, just to get that bright orangey color. And I don't think the camera picks it up, but I'm painting. So the first time I painted, I kind of painted this way, and then now I'm painting a different way because you can see the paint lines, and it's just better. It's like it adheres better because it crisscrosses instead of going the same way. These are just things I do, and I don't even think about when I do them. Yeah, that's a nice bright orange. And these don't dry out very quickly. It's like paintbrushes. Sometimes you'll get them because we do like small little details on things that we need paintbrushes for. Oh, I forgot we need a lighter color. But paintbrushes just dry out so fast. With the sponges, they actually last a lot longer with the paint. They'll sit there and you have time if you're going to do a second coat, or if you have to go do a load of laundry in between, or your dogs start barking, which mine were doing just before I started this, and I was thinking, please, be quiet, don't bark during the video. There we go. So cute. All over my hands. And it's acrylic paint, so it comes off soap and water, no problem. Okay. And back into the white. Let's do one more coat on here. The black doesn't even need a second one. These ones look great. Just trying to brighten this up a little bit. There we go. No. Stay just like that. That's exactly how I want you. This pattern is so cute. It's like a plaid, right? Ooh, I got a little thick cut in the corner there. Let me see. Do I have a weird little dentist tool here that I was using for something else. Let's see if I can pull that out. Got a little extra paint in the crevice here. It's okay. It's not going to ruin it. It's just, it's there. I see it. It's gloppy. And I don't want it to go, so like when I'm putting it on here, I don't want it, when it moves, to smudge paint through here. So it's better if the back has no paint on it whatsoever and you don't get anything on there. Because when we put it on here, there's a good chance we'll get it on there right the first time. But if you don't and it moves, the last thing you want is paint smeared. Because then you have to repaint and then wait for it to dry again. Okay. I think I have got good coverage now. All right, so we do want these to dry before we glue because it just makes that easier. You can go wash your hands off right now if you want to. I'm going to use a baby wipe because it's quicker. It's right here, and then I can move on to the next part. And the paint is weird, so it dries on your hands and it feels like it's not going to come off, but then you go touch some other thing and then boom, there's blue, or boom, there's white. Actually, that just gave me an idea. Some streaks of blue on this might actually look pretty stinking cute. Should I do it? I think I'm going to do it. And then I'm using that same sponge brush that we were just using. Oh, yes. Oh, I really like that. So again, just, ooh, just some fun ideas. You can just match it to your decor in your home, or, like some people do for Halloween. Halloween to me is purple, orange, green, yellow because of the moon and the candy corns, which I've been making earrings. I gotta show you this because it's funny, I think. Where did I put them? There. Hold on, let me grab one. So I've been making earrings because I have, I just love earrings and I think they're super cute. I really love wearing themed earrings for all holidays. Like I like big earrings. I like colorful. Glitter is like I love glitter. So I have all the glitter, which I don't know if you can see over there, but there's a bunch over there. This is actually glitter paint, which it's called Glitterific. It's so awesome. I use this on everything. That's what I've been doing all these earrings with. But so the candy corns, I've got them this way, and I also have them where they hang this way. But I'm pretty sure I screwed up I think it goes yellow, orange, white. I haven't bought any this year, but I'm gonna have to Google it. Or is there any over there on a ribbon? There might be some on a. I've got Halloween ribbon all over the. I've got Halloween has exploded at my house. It's everywhere. Let's see over there. But so they're not politically correct, anatomically correct, but they're still friggin' cute, and you know, I'm still gonna wear them. And if somebody wants to fight me about it, you know, that's fine. But I'm gonna wear them. I'm happy. So okay, so your glue is gonna come with the cap off. Actually, the whole thing comes off, and it's sealed. So once you put the cap on, the cap is what breaks that seal, and now you have an open tube of glue, which it is super glue. But I got the gel because the other super glue, it goes like that. It just, boom, whatever you do, it's on. These have, and I also got the bigger ones. There were these small ones I was using for a while, but they had no cap. You had to use them all at one time, and if you didn't use them all, it was over. This one, if you don't use it all or you need a break in between, you can just close it up and do it later, which is really nice because I get distracted a lot. So this is a fantastic little perk with this little glue. So another thing you want to do is when you're gluing, always glue the smaller piece. So that way when you're putting it on, you're not, because like if you had to put it on here, you wouldn't know exactly where to go because it could be, you know, smaller or bigger considering what you're using. So the gel is going to give you a little bit of leeway for that. So I'm just going to go around the edge and I'm just going to put a little bit of gel around here. We don't want it to squish out, so we're going to just be gentle. You don't have to do the middle because nothing moves. This is a pretty secure piece as far as like you couldn't break those unless you really gave them a kink on them. And so now you know that the middle is safe to touch. And you can take it. Oh, it's still a little bit wet. That's okay. So what you want to do is you want to try to match it up right away. We don't want it to move. Now, if it's off just a little bit, then go ahead and push it so that it goes into the right space. There you go. So there's that piece right there, perfectly glued on. And then we're going to work on the next pumpkin. Again, the stem. Even these ribs are pretty solid, so you don't have to. For me, the less glue, the better, because these things are not meant, like these aren't like working parts. They're not meant to like hold up to like wear and tear. So for me, the less glue, the better. If it stays put, it stays put. I don't like when it squishes out. That's the worst. I don't like it when it squishes. All right, so there is some blue around the edges. And my white was still a little bit wet. So my fingerprints on that. All right, perfect. So those look friggin' cute. Okay. So what was I going to say about this? Oh, so I did get paint around the edges. And so what you can do to fix that is you can actually take the brown, take a wedge, and you can go around the edge and just cover it back up because these are laser cut. What that means is there's a piece of wood and it gets cut in the machine, so it's burning with the laser. Which makes it this color. So the color of this is actually light, like it was in the beginning, and then it burns its way through, and that's what creates all the mess. So if you want to, you can go around the edge and you can kind of clean it up a little bit if you want to. You don't have to. I don't normally. I was just showing you in case you wanted to do that. Okay, so to the Hello Fall, the same thing for me. I like to do around the edges, so I will do the L's, I'll do the H, I will do the little tail maybe just a little bit. But again, nobody's messing with this. There shouldn't be anybody messing with your project. So as long as you've got it on some key components, you won't have to worry about it. There's wet paint on my fingers. I keep getting on stuff. So this one has an outline that you can follow to where it should sit. So you just try to line it up as best you can. Put it right on top and it should sit perfect. Now I always flat hand it like this so that way it gets an even distributing of that glue, so it pushes it straight down and then up. Now because I did touch that with some wet fingers, which again you should either baby wipe it or wash your hands when you're done painting and you're assembling. And I would highly suggest giving it a little time in between painting and assembling. For the sake of a video, I'm trying to do it quickly for you. Okay, and then there's an outline for the big pumpkin here. So you have a choice of, what did I put? Oh, the glue disappeared. And again, this will take, I'm gonna put a little bit more glue because it has some weight to it. So I wanna make sure that it gets a good, I'm like making curly cues. It gets a good lock on there, but not thick, just moved around so that it's got more surface covered. Okay, and then again, one good push on there. Voila. Now you can put this pumpkin next to here. It will interfere with the fall though, so it will sit up just a tiny bit. You can put them next to each other. You can put them on top of each other, or you can put them slightly askew. I kind of like it a little off-centered like this. You can even go as far, as long as 3/4 of that pumpkin is on the other pumpkin, it won't pop off. So you just have to keep that in mind. It's like the ratio. You just want to make sure there's enough stability to hold that pumpkin on there. So this is going to sit here. So all of this, we'll get some glue on it. Okay, now the only parts it's going to touch are these, but it's easier to put the glue on the little pumpkin than it is to put it on all those places. Just make sure it's lined up. Okay, and now for this, you're only going to push it onto the side here because this one's hanging. Or depending on where you put it, like if you put it on top of it, then no worries. And if you put it over here, then no worries because you don't have to worry too much about that. Okay. Then we have this cute little bow. Yes, I'm going to put a little bit more glue on the